Hi, today I'm going to go through and I'm going to show you how to create a project in Asana for your list building. So what you're going to do is if you do not have an Asana account yet, then you're going to need to go ahead and create one, and you can do that for free. All you have to do is just go and Google Asana and you'll be able to see that, and you can create your free account. So now you have a couple different options that we can do here. You can add them just as general tasks, just one by one right here. Or you can go ahead, and this is what I would do with it, is click on this plus sign, and then you have a task, a conversation, or project. And we're going to go ahead and add a project in here. And our project name is going to be, I'm just going to call it list building. And then you can choose either the list or the board. For me personally, I prefer a list, but it's really up to you how you want to visually see it. So a board is going to have cards that go down, and then you can move it from one step to the next step. Since this is basically going to be, it's either done or not done, I'm just going to leave it at the list. So if I go ahead and create the project, I can go ahead and click right down here, and it's going to create my project for me. And now I can go ahead and add my different sections into my list building. If I go ahead and click on the star, kind of the same way as with Google Drive, you can it adds it to the top, so it's easy to find those projects. Sorry, move this out of the way. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to add our first task. So here brings it up, and okay, so let's just go through the things that you would do if you're working like from the top down to build a list. We would have to brainstorm our lead magnet. So I'm going to go ahead and put in brainstorm lead magnet. Now when you're brainstorming the lead magnet, now you could go ahead and do it in here, because we do have a section over and right here where it says description, where you could put in like whether or not, ideas, or down here in the comments. I would actually personally do it in a Google Drive, so you can go back and see it, and maybe later on that would be something else that you would like to create a lead magnet on. So it just gives you a working doc and lets you put some of your ideas. And then if you need ideas on how to organize your Google Drive at any time, I put those out on my Facebook as well as my Instagram profiles, so that you can kind of take a look at some of my tips and tricks to organization there. So once we have that one in there, I'm not going to put any or subdirectories or subtasks underneath this one. I think that that one is good. So I'm going to go ahead and just return. It's going to bring me down to the next line. And then our next line is going to be design a lead magnet. Sorry, can't type. Oh, yes, I can. Sorry. Okay. Now we have that. It's popped right over here on the side. If you click on this here, it allows you to add your subtasks. So now I have a whole nother checklist of things that I can put underneath here. So I'm going to put in my first thing is to create a wireframe. And a wireframe can be done in a couple different ways. You can actually do it electronically, like in Pages or Word, or you can do it in Google Doc. It's completely up to you. Or you can actually physically take a piece of paper and draw out how you want your lead magnet to look. So you just get an idea then of how, like, where you want your header to be, and if you want, how many images you're going to want to have, and how much different areas you're going to want to have the copy in. So that's what a wireframe does. It just gives you a visual, and it's usually like boxes, and then you mark your box that this is going to be an image, or this is going to be a text, or this is going to be a headline. And then the next one I'm going to put in here is we're going to design via Canva, Word, or Pages. So that's the next one. And then if you did want to add more, so you see how it has this little arrow over here, you can come in here and again, so underneath your subtask, you can add more subtasks. So if you wanted to put anything underneath here for more information in regards to designing it on Canva, Word, or Pages, you could go ahead and do that. I'm going to go back to my design my lead magnet, which is the main one here. And then I'm just going to add the next one, which is going to be an either or. You're either going to design it in Canva, Word, or Pages, or maybe you're doing a how-to video like this is. So you're going to record a video. And watch my typing errors today. And you can do that via like something like Zoom, or I'm using Loom right now. And I really like it because it's easy for me to do quick videos that I can send out to people. And then also the thing that we need to put in here is we need to write our copy for our lead magnet, and we need to find images. So that would be all the pieces that go into designing your lead magnet. So I have that done. So I can just come over here, or I can close this and it will bring this whole page back up again. And I can add in my next task, which is going to be create a landing page. So the landing page is, the place that you actually are going to direct them to, that they can read all the information about what it is that you're offering in your lead magnet. So it's like your sales page, I guess, for your lead magnet, so that they know exactly what they're going to be getting and the benefit that they have if they were to choose to give you their email address for your information that you provided. And again, we're going to come over here and create a subtask list. In the same process, we need to create a wireframe. Your landing page, and again, that's like you're writing out. You can either do that electronically, or you can do it on a piece of paper. Whatever it is, it's just so that you're laying out and you have an idea of all the images that you're going to need and all the text that you're going to need to write for it. Okay, and then I have write the copy and find images. And the last thing is create the landing page. Okay. After we create a landing page, then we're going to do like the actual opt-in. So, they go to the landing page and they click download now or sign me up or subscribe or whatever it is that you're going to do your call to action on your button. Then it's going to pop up that opt-in form. So we do need to create that. And that's pretty much just going to be, the box that comes up that's attached to your email service provider or your ESP. And then you have your thank you page. So on your thank you page, after they give you your email address, then you can have them go to a separate URL, because generally it will say, do you want to send them the default, or do you actually want to send them to a page, and what's the URL for that? So I'm going to have you send them to a thank you page, and you're going to go ahead and create that. And then on your thank you page, again, same thing. You need to create your wireframe. I am not doing well with my typing today. Excuse me. So create your wireframe for the thank you page. Actually, I don't need to type that on there because we're on thank you page as our task. Write the copy. Find the images. And then you're also going to pick your tripwire. So your tripwire is something that you might want to upsell them to, like whether generally you want to look at something being a low dollar amount when you put it on there, so under $20, or you can have like different levels if you want to. So it's just giving them different options after they've downloaded or subscribed to your opt-in, is to then actually buy something. But like I said, it's generally something low price, like under $20. So you have that in there. So pick your tripwire, and then you'll have to actually create your thank you page. And that would just be one piece that's on there. Okay, so then the next thing, and this is going to take a little bit more creativity, is creating your actual email sequences. So planning out your email sequences. And when I do my email sequences, I like plan everything out. So I write all the copy, I find all the images, and I have everything gathered together so that when I go and actually then do the email sequence in the email service provider, then I have everything right in front of me and I can just run down the list and whip it out really quick. And this needs subcategories or subtasks as well. So we'll go ahead and put those in here. And we're going to write our welcome. And then underneath our welcome, I'm going to put subcategories for this one. Because what I want in my welcome is I need to write the copy. Find images. And I'm probably going to have to create the images because you want to make sure that you're actually creating like a little picture of your lead magnet. So like a couple pages in there so that they can actually see what it looks like. And then that can be done in Canva or PicMonkey very easily. So you would open up your PDF that you have or your Word document, take a screenshot of it, and then you have those now as a picture so that you can lay them out in a, like, whether it be like a social media post or a Facebook post, or you want it at the top of your blog, however you want it to be, whatever size shape you want it to be in, I guess. So, and then how are they going to get to your lead magnet? So are you actually going to include it in the email? Are you just going to have a link in the email and it goes to your Dropbox where they can download it? It's completely up to you, but you need to figure out how they are going to get your lead magnet. And some of the things like in your welcome sequence, because it is the most opened email of anything that you're going to have in your email sequence is your welcome one. So the first one they ever receive. So you want to make sure that you're embracing it and welcoming them to your list with open arms. So you want to tell them about you, your why, what they can expect from you, the benefits that you offer in your lead magnet. So all of those things. So why are they there? Just, that warm welcome that you would get from maybe a friend if you were to stop by their house and visit them. Okay, we're going to go back to plan the email sequence, because then the next thing after our welcome sequence is you're going to put in like a bonus. So after you get done with your welcome sequence and you finish it, you want to end it with something along the lines telling them, oh, check your email tomorrow. I'll be sending over a little surprise or a little bonus content or something, so that they, know to go in and look at their inbox the next day for it. And then after your bonus, then you'll go into a nurture sequence. And then you always want to end your email with the expectation of when you're actually going to be in their inbox again. And then this is the same. We need to write it, we need to come up with images, and then we need to figure out how and what we're going to send to them in our bonus content email. And that is the last piece for the the welcome. So then we're going to go into the nurture sequence. Steps forward, 2 steps back. Not a big deal. Okay, so our nurture sequence. Let's go in here so that we can add in some subtasks for this. And so just because I've written the same things for all of them, I'm going to go ahead and put in the third email, because that would be what it is. We sent them the welcome email. We sent them the bonus content email. So that's 1 and 2. This is email number 3. And we are going to write copy and send them images. Now, in the copy for the third email, let me go ahead and click in here so we can see it or write it out. You want that to be valuable information for them. So it's, giving more information about what the subject of your lead magnet, how they can maybe use it, but you're going to write your copy providing valuable information in this third email. Go ahead and put that in there. And images. And you may want to just use the same images over again. I generally do. If it's one email sequence, I'll use the same, because it just becomes familiar to them. So they know if they see this image that it's more than likely about your opt-in or your lead magnet that they have. So I'll go back to my nurture sequence, and then I can put it in, and I won't make you watch me type all the information, but the fourth email, which is also going to be a valuable information email, and then your fifth email, you want to ask them something like, are they struggling with anything? Do they have any questions? Maybe provide them with more valuable content, or maybe frequently asked questions that you have that people ask you. So just providing them more information, and then asking them if they need anything from you. so that you make sure that they're not struggling or not understanding something correctly. And then in our sixth email, which will be the final one in our nurture sequence, you're going to do like a soft sell. So you're going to let them know about a service that you offer or a product that you sell or whatever it is that you have. So going along that with your lead magnet, whatever it is that you would want to soft sell them on. So, not anything harsh at all, but, just a gentle ask. Because if you ask or do not tell them about your services, then they'll never know. So that is the breakdown. Now I could go into each one of these, and I would if I was doing it for myself, but I'm going to go ahead and close this out because I just want to show you a couple other things that you can do in here. So I have all of my tasks that are listed out in here. Now, if you wanted to go ahead, you can create copies of these, and then so if I were to be in here, I could go ahead and click on this, and I could copy my task, and it would bring up, like everything that you would want to copy. And then you can create that. And that would be how you'd want to do a template. So if you want to save this and do a template, then you would go ahead and do that with just copying everything so that you have it. A couple other things that I'll just cover quick here. If you had more people on your team that you wanted to go ahead and sign them to, then you would be able to assign this task or this process to them. And then you have due dates. So if I go ahead and click on the due date, I can go ahead and put in a due date for this. I'll put in the 23rd. If I wanted it to be repeating, then you come down here and you go set a due date time or set to repeat. So we would set it to repeat, and it repeats 7 days after completion. If you go ahead and click on that, it gives you more options. So you can put in repeats daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, whatever it is that it is. And then your interval if you were to doing it, days after you completed it. So that is an idea on how you would set up something to be a repeating. And then you can see that this is a repeating task in here. So, and then if you do @ mentions, you can put comments again to your team in there if you wanted them to @ mention that. Anything that you want to, if you wanted to take this particular task and copy the URL for it and then put it like in an like a project, not a project management system, but like a forecasting tool or a CRM or something along that lines, you could go ahead and copy that. So anywhere you'd want to copy it, or maybe you're saving it in a Google Doc, something along that lines. I keep track of all my URLs in a Google Doc. Actually, it's a spreadsheet, but and then if you needed to put any attachments on here, then you could go ahead and put attachments. So in your wireframes that you created for your other pieces, if you created them electronically, you could go ahead and attach that right in here. Or if you even, did it on paper, you can take a picture and attach it on here so that you actually have, like the work that you did prior to it. So that gives you an idea of how you would actually create a list building project in Asana. If you ever have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. I'm always happy and willing to give you any help, advice, or tips and tricks that I've learned along the way. So, well, thank you so much for your time, and I hope you enjoy your day.